Good evening and welcome to the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge Competition, hosted by the Daniels College of Business at the University of Denver. We're streaming live from Marjorie Reed Hall on the University of Denver campus. We are joined tonight by alumni, students, faculty, staff, parents, and friends attending this online event from all over the country, Canada, and even as far as Botswana, Africa. We appreciate your support and involvement with tonight's event. Tonight is the fourth time we have held the Madden Challenge competition online. My name is Joshua Ross. I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship at the University of Denver, and I have the opportunity to be your host tonight. The Madden Challenge has taken place every fall, winter, and spring since 2012 and is made possible by the generosity of the Madden family. During this extended run, we have given away over $128,000 in prize money, and we have had over 380 student winners. Every quarter, the student teams compete to win the coveted Madden Challenge trophy, bragging rights, and the cash prizes, along with some very cool swag. Throughout tonight's event, our social media team will be posting on our social media channels. The hashtags DU Madden Challenge and the handles are on the screen. So please follow us, make comments throughout the event tonight. Before we hear the student teams pitch their ideas, the Dean of the Daniels College of Business would like to say a few words to kick off this event. Please welcome Dee Chowdhury.
Thanks, Joshua. I'm going to be very brief in my remarks. I want to first start by echoing Joshua's thanks to the Madden family for their generosity, which obviously makes this competition possible, and which, as Joshua said, has been going on since 2012. I also want to take a minute to thank all the judges that are giving selflessly of their time this evening and their feedback to the students. I know that it's time out of your personal time, and so we greatly appreciate your willingness to share your inputs and insights with us today. Finally, my congratulations to all of the students. I always say that the first reason you should be proud is you took this course itself, and it teaches you the two skills that I think are going to be critical as you go forward in your career. One is to learn about the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. And the second is to learn about having an entrepreneurial spirit and a spirit of innovation. So congratulations to all the students. And with that, let me just say all the best to the students for the competition. Back to you, Joshua.
Thank you, Dean. So, quick overview of the quarter. It's been an exciting, busy quarter for entrepreneurship at DU. We have had a number of exciting speakers join us this quarter, discussing a wide range of topics, from social media marketing to building a successful music festival. We kicked off our Women Innovators and Creatives Entrepreneurs Series. We had 2 roundtable discussions and a networking event. Our students had the opportunity to engage in 2 workshops focused on innovation and ideation, and also one focused on intellectual property, trademarks, and patents. And we had our first entrepreneurship pitch competition focused on sustainability. We tried a non-traditional approach. The students pitched their ideas using the TikTok platform. Let me tell you, they were very creative. It was a lot of fun to watch. Tonight's events and events throughout the quarter would not be possible without the talented and hardworking team at Entrepreneurship at DU. Rosanna, Ashley, and Kevin and Ronnie are the backbone of what makes us successful. Ronnie and Kevin are a social media team and have done a wonderful job building awareness and a social media following for Entrepreneurship at DU and tonight's Madden Challenge. They will be posting throughout the event, so please engage. This spring quarter, the Fourth Industrial Revolution course was taught in a hybrid modality. And what that means is the students were able to attend class either in person or online via Zoom. The student teams in the Fourth Industrial Revolution are tasked with identifying a problem, an unmet need, or an opportunity, and using one or more of the 6 core Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies to solve the problem, unmet need, or capitalize on the opportunity. The students work in their teams for a total of 5 weeks, developing their idea with one goal, convincing potential investors to invest in their idea. There are added complexities as teams must observe COVID-19 rules, and some team members were not even in the same state or even in the same country. Our students are resilient, and they quickly identified the best processes and tools to communicate and collaborate virtually. During our open call, when the faculty met to select the 5 teams that are represented tonight during the Madden Challenge, I was struck by a common theme from all of the students that entered: purpose. What I mean by that is ideas and innovations that make a difference, have an impact, focused on solving real problems, helping. Tonight, you will watch pitches that use a few of the Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies. Some of these technologies you may be familiar with: artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, virtual reality, 3D printing. The judges will score each team based on the following criteria. Was the problem, need, opportunity clearly articulated? Was there a clear and succinct overview of the innovation and then how it solves the problem or meets the need and/or opportunity? And was the target market clearly defined, and was it explained how the target market engages in the idea? Audience, we're not leaving you out either. You will have the opportunity to weigh in tonight to cast your vote. At the conclusion of the final pitch video, you will vote on the best pitch. Okay, let's meet our judges tonight. It's my pleasure to introduce our 4 judges for tonight's event. 3 of our judges are DU alums, and 1 of our judges will be a DU alum very soon, as she is scheduled to graduate next week. Our first judge, Lauren Beaver, is a senior associate in KPMG's tax ignition practice. She graduated from the University of Denver with a BSBA Finance in 2017 and an MS Business Analytics in 2018. Lauren participated in the Madden Challenge in the fall of 2013 during her first quarter at DU. And a side note, I was lucky enough to be Lauren's professor in 2013. Our next judge, Josh Cashman, is a Colorado lawyer and business owner, operator with extensive experience in consumer packaged goods, e-commerce, financial analysis, investment management, and regulatory compliance. Josh currently provides consumer packaged good M&A consulting while running an online brand focused on the Amazon seller space. Josh received his JD, Master's in Finance, and MBA degrees from DU's evening programs. Our next judge is Kate Corliss, who has spent the majority of her career in the finance industry, starting with Morgan Stanley in New York as an investment banking analyst in the Financial Sponsors Group, where she worked on several M&A, equity, and debt transactions. While at Morgan Stanley, she was deeply involved in both the analysis recruiting program for Stanford and also the Financial Sponsors Group intern recruiting program. She earned a BA in philosophy from Stanford University. Kate is about to graduate from the University of Denver with a master's in real estate and the built environment. And finally, our final judge is Michael Pollock. He is a co-founder of Hyde Park with over 40 years in the jewelry business. This is my favorite part. Michael started by selling turquoise and Indian jewelry after class on the lawn of DU in 1973, where he graduated with a BSBA. With over 45 years in retail management, developing 11 regional luxury jewelry stores, Michael became chief executive of Hyde Park Jewelers in 2007. Michael has received numerous industry awards, including an induction into the National Jeweler Retail Hall of Fame in 2008, and Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year in 1999, and the Women's Jeweler Association Leadership in 2017. Judges, thank you for participating tonight and spending some time with us and donating your time. We truly appreciate it. Okay, we are ready to start the competition. Here are the 5 teams that are competing and the order in which they will present. All teams competing tonight have created a 6 to 7 minute pitch video. At the conclusion of each pitch video, the judges will have 2 to 3 minutes to ask questions. One team member from each team will represent their team during the question and answer. At the conclusion of the 5 pitch videos and the Q&A, the judges will leave us for approximately 15 minutes to select the first and second place teams. During that time, while the judges are deliberating, we have a very special interview conducted by Dr. Garcia. Judges, once each pitch video is concluded, please turn on your microphone and cameras for the Q&A. Okay, let's get started. Our first team to pitch tonight is Not Just Jewelry. Team members, Anna, Annalise, Katie, Sheridan, Clara. Katie Emery will be handling the Q&A portion of the presentation. Please play the video.
These headlines are deeply disturbing, but nonetheless, it's the reality that women live in. There are 38 million women ages 17 through 27 in the United States alone. 1 out of every 5 of these women will be sexually assaulted at some point in her life. Most female victims of assault will experience their first rape before the age of 25. Everything we do as women can put us in danger. Going for a run, going to the mall, or even walking home are infinitely more dangerous for women.
Our company, Not Just Jewelry, aims to address the issue of women's safety. Our product, the Rely Ring, is designed to help women feel more safe by having GPS locating and emergency contacting capabilities. Our design focuses on being fashionable but discreet. It's lightweight and can be customized in size and metal.
We are looking to sell our product to young women that live an active lifestyle or enjoy going out with friends. Our product is also highly appealing to their concerned loved ones who are looking to give a gift that is not only trendy, but could also save their lives.
In a recent survey we conducted, of the 116 women within our target demographic, 105 reported that rings were already a daily accessory for them. Additionally, 87% of the women surveyed rated their interest in our product as an 8 or greater on a scale of 1 to 10. We are especially focused on the increased levels of sexual violence faced by women on college campuses, and over 55% of our survey audience said that they had experienced sexual harassment on their college campus, with an additional 35% reporting these experiences off campus.
College-age women are 3 times more likely to experience harassment than any other gender or age demographic, which is why we are focused on that target market.
Further, our study found that 93% said that they already share their location with friends or family for safety reasons, and the majority of those women reported being in a situation where they had felt unsafe but did not have access to their phones because they were dead, lost, or out of reach. In many cases of sexual assault, the victim does not have access to a phone, which is why their ring will be equipped with a SIM card so that it has its own communication network and can operate without the help of another device. This means that there is no need to connect via Bluetooth, which will help save battery life in addition to giving the user the ability to use our product even if their phone is dead or out of reach.
The ring is connected to an app where the user will be able to pick out a select group of friends from their contacts. When the button is pressed 3 times, a pre-selected, customized message will be sent out to this circle of people. When pressed 5 times, the ring will send the same alert as well as one to local authorities.
After the button has been activated, your app will receive the notification that an alert is being sent out. It will ask to confirm that this is correct, and if the notification is not dismissed as an accident, it will go forward with the alert. The ring will continue to track location and send updates to the app every minute so the location is always as accurate as possible.
Rely Ring utilizes the Internet of Things to send and receive data with no human interaction necessary. The ring will utilize upstream data traffic as alerts are sent out with your location to nearby cell towers, and downstream data when the information is delivered to the app, friends' phones, and the local authorities.
We would consider sharing the valuable data collected with universities and their police services, as well as the city, so that they would be aware of areas where alerts are being frequently activated. This partnership would increase not just campus safety, but safety of the surrounding communities. This process of data sharing would be opt-in only, otherwise all data would be encrypted and secure.
Our competitors currently on the market do not compare to our product, as all of them require the cell phone to be within Bluetooth distance and functioning, defeating the purpose of a reliable second method of protection. The companies, Flare, Invisiware, and Safelit, are the most popular trackable jewelry companies on the market, but none of them offer a ring option, only necklaces and bracelets. We also aim to price our products at around $100, which is $50 to $200 less than currently available products.
These companies also do not donate to philanthropy groups dedicated to protecting and supporting women. We want to give back to survivors and do everything we can to mitigate sexual violence against women, so we plan to donate a percentage of our profits to RAIN, the largest anti-sexual violence organization in the nation.
We aim to utilize content market, influencer marketing, as well as search engine optimization as our main forms of marketing. We would actively consider the analytics gained from the optimization to continuously improve our content market-based websites and social media platforms. Our product will be purchased directly off the website.
We would also ideally connect with influencers like Emma Chamberlain and Danielle Bernstein from We Wore What to attract our prime consumer base. These women are as trendy as they come, so any product that they endorse will have a high level of interaction.
These influencers, as well as our platforms, will be proficient in Instagram and TikTok for our younger consumers and Facebook for our older consumers who may be buying for daughters or other family members. Our company's mission is to create products that are on trend and have the ability to save young women from sexual violence and allow them to live their life without fear. This is our team. We are dedicated to supporting and protecting women. As college students, we have all had experiences of our own with sexual harassment and feelings of fear and discomfort where we wish we had a product like this to rely on to help us feel safe.
This is what inspired us to create the Rely Ring. Our goal is to promote awareness of women's safety to the point where our product is ultimately no longer needed or necessary. Until then, Not Just Jewelry is committed to providing women with an on-trend preventative safety measure. Thank you for your time. We're Not Just Jewelry, a company made for women by women.
Okay, now we'll take questions from the judges. Judges and Katie, please turn on your microphones and cameras. Audience, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom to ask questions as well. Please do that throughout the evening. If we have time after each video presentation, I'll make sure to take questions from the Judges, go ahead.
Joshua, it's Michael. I have a few quick questions. This is kind of in a related field to what I do. So a few things. Do you have a working model as yet?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite hear you.
Sure. Do you have a working model as yet?
Oh, we do not.
You don't have, okay. And do you know what the, how many styles are you planning on creating?
So right now we only have one style in mind. We're planning on going with a signet ring, given that all of our technology would be able to fit in there. So that's kind of what our goal is. And then we're only looking at having 2 different color options so that it's just kind of more discreet that way.
Okay. And just curious, what kind of an investment, do you plan on taking this this product to market, or is this purely an academic project?
Yeah, that's a great question. We would definitely need to look into that more. But for now, I would say it's purely academic. We have kind of thought about doing more with it maybe. There's just a few more things that we would need to figure out for sure.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question. First of all, great job and great product. I think it's a really cool idea. I was curious more about the kind of battery components, and I think that it's super appealing that you don't need to have your cell phone close by. But could you elaborate a bit on how often you have to charge it and how the technology around that would work?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So in terms of battery, we kind of did a little bit of research and we were looking into lithium ion batteries. We found ones on the market that are pretty small. They have a diameter of about 3.5 millimeters and a length of about 20 millimeters. So we think that with this, we would be able to stack our SIM card on top of the battery. And then in terms of battery life, we are giving the user the option to share the location all the time or only when the ring is activated. So we believe that with this, we would be able to incorporate wireless charging, and depending on how often the user wants to be sharing their location, we would be able to charge it either a few weeks out after using it or a couple days.
Great answer. Thank you.
You guys did a great job. I really enjoyed it. I think it's an innovative and interesting topic, and you guys covered a lot of the criteria, it seems. I am curious, so you talked a little bit about the competition and why is it seems like a ring would be a great alternative to the necklaces and some of the other jewelry that your competition has explored. Why is it that they haven't done rings, and what are some of the technical, and can you kind of clarify what are the technological sort of distinctions between your product and theirs?
Yeah, so a lot of the other companies that we did look at are the bracelets and the necklaces and everything. Typically, these tend to be just a little bit bigger, a little bit more bulky, which is why we decided to go with the ring. We were trying to make the product as discreet as possible to just make women feel more comfortable with activating it. And then in terms of technology, none of the other products on the market that we've seen have the ability to operate without a phone in, like to Bluetooth. So having the SIM card in our ring gives us an advantage, as this would be able to communicate with friends in those police services without being connected to a network or like a Wi-Fi signal.
And all of that you think is feasible. The fact that your competition hasn't done it would make someone think that, well, why haven't they done it if that it appears superior, no doubt, based on what you've described. And all of that does seem feasible based on your research.
We believe it's feasible. Some of the main issues that we're looking into is the size of the ring. We're just not really sure whenever we put it together. We're hoping that everything will be able to fit into there. If not, we would have to maybe look into different design options, but we are hopeful that everything that we're trying to incorporate would fit into a ring.
Hey, Katie, great presentation. Thank you so much. My question is, how easy do you think it would be to accidentally tap the ring 3 times or 5 times if it's on your finger and possibly hitting against another ring, or if you're handshaking someone? Do you think there's any risk there?
Great question. Yeah, so we are trying to go with the signet ring idea, which has like kind of just a bigger head on the ring. And the button would be actually inside of the ring head. So it would be up against your skin on this part. And we're aiming to try and make that button as flat as possible to prevent those accidental alerts being sent off. But if that were to happen, we do have an alert that goes to the app, which you can dismiss given that your phone is alive. So we think that the probability of accidental alerts would be fairly low, given that you do have to push the button a certain amount of time, and we're hoping that it would be pretty flat up against the ring so we could avoid that situation as much as possible.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie, for your time. Judges, please take the next 30 to 60 seconds to write down your scores, please. Okay, our next team is Recycling Earth's Waste. Team members, Caitlin, Rue, and Yvonne. Yvonne Hernandez will be handling the Q&A portion of the presentation. Please play the video.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Hernandez.
I'm Caitlin Joshua.
I'm Rui Wong.
And we are RUE, which stands for Recycling Earth's Waste, and we're a company that wants to change the world of fashion for the better, starting with footwear. For the past couple of decades, the fashion industry has taken a turn for the worse in terms of its methods. Both clothing and shoes are often made cheaply while being mass-produced. This phenomenon is known as fast fashion. Fashion is the second most polluting industry in the world, right behind oil. Its rapid production leads to materials being wasted, which often ends up being discarded into oceans and onto streets. In fact, over 300 million pairs of shoes end up in landfills every year. It is expected in 2030 that 134 million tons of textiles will be discarded annually. It also requires high water and energy use. However, fashion can't be the only one to blame for this environmental crisis. The abundant use of plastic everywhere has also created pollution problems. It is found that 150 million metric tons of plastic alone are found in the world's oceans, but we are here to help diminish these numbers. Rue is a company that aims to provide sustainable footwear for all, while also aiming to address the social issue of homelessness in Colorado, where our company is based. Stay tuned to learn more about how we are giving back. Specifically, Rue seeks to utilize only 3D printing, also called additive manufacturing, in which we will add or layer material to create our shoes. This will allow us to reach zero waste, as opposed to subtracting or taking away material that happens during subtractive manufacturing techniques. Bulk of the shoe will be made out of recycled plastic and other filaments that work with our printing machines. Thus, with the appropriate combination of materials, we will accomplish creating a durable, yet stylish and comfortable shoe. For that to happen, we will collect littered plastic bottles found on streets and parks and put them through a process to be turned into printable PET filament. The non-printable parts, such as the caps, will be sent to regular recycling facilities. As for the other filaments, we will need to purchase from vendors. Several 3D printed filaments will make up the entirety of our shoes. One called thermoplastic elastomer, or TPE for short, will be used to create the uppers of the shoe to provide adequate protection atop the foot. Another variation of TPE, called Filoflex, will be used to create the insole, as it provides cushioning support for the base of your foot. Polyethylene terephthalate, or PET for short, will be used for the midsole and act mostly as the structured foundation of the shoe. The last filament we will use is thermoplastic polyurethane 92A-1, or TPU for short, which will create the outsole, giving the shoe extra backing and some bounce. It is another variation of TPE, but its composition is slightly firmer, providing the base of the shoe protection. Additive manufacturing is advancing at an incredible pace. Currently, there are 3D printing processes being developed for more traditional feeling textiles that will allow us to continue the design and functionality of our footwear. In fact, the 3D manufacturer called Raise 3D has launched in 2020 a shoe upper manufacturing process which uses an innovative 3D printing technology called fused filament fabrication, in which TPU filament is extruded as thread on a flat bed, resulting in a layered pattern.
REW will make shopping accessible through our website and mobile app. On each platform, customers will be able to view shoe designs made by us and by previous customers. Also, the choice to design their own shoe. The next step is to provide the shoe size. Customers will have the option to select their shoe size or 3D scan their foot via our app and their mobile device. However, the scanner will provide more precise measurements. Once they order their shoe, we will receive their design file and feed it into the printer and finally insert the appropriate filament.
After doing some secondary research, our products are targeted to younger generations, namely Gen Z and millennials in America. This is due to a couple of reasons. According to one survey involving over 1,000 participants, 62% of millennials and a respective 62% of Gen Z said that they prefer buying from sustainable brands. Further, based on our own primary research, also conducted through a survey given to Gen Z and millennials, 93.8% are willing to buy sustainable shoes. This information tells us that we have the advantage for selling our products, as several individuals care about buying from ethical brands. Rue plans on helping out low-income families and homeless individuals in Colorado. According to statistics, men dominate the homeless population. However, this does not stop us from helping all homeless groups living within Colorado. The reason for targeting one area is due to the fact that our business is fairly small. With time, we hope to grow our company and our outreach to help homeless on a national level. The homeless face several hardships that shouldn't go unnoticed. Several live on the streets under poor conditions with barely enough resources and experience mental and physical health problems due to improper care. It is further found that numerous homeless people resort to wearing the wrong shoe size, wear shoes with inadequate support, never change shoes, or don't have resources for shoes at all. That said, our focus is on providing proper foot protection for these mistreated and marginalized groups, as foot protection is essential, especially in rough and cold environments. Our company will involve the model buy one, give one. That way, for every purchase from a customer, we will donate a shoe to someone in need. While we provide the shoes, CCH advocates for and provides services to improve the health, well-being, and stability of those it serves. Here we see a simple graph comparing our company with a few existing competitors. As you see, Root tackles every feature, making us unique and different from the rest. In the next 3 to 5 years, we look to expand on making 3D printed textiles as technology advances and we adapt along with it.
Our products will be showed online via our website and mobile app. REW will advertise through social media platforms. This is an easy way to reach our target market as Gen Z and millennials use social media excessively. We will also reach out to influencers to try and promote our product. Marketing strategies so that people are willing to buy from a company that addresses social issues.
We
are.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll take questions from the judges. Judges and Yvonne, please turn on your microphones and cameras, and audience, please use the Q&A feature if you want to ask a question.
Hey guys, thanks for your presentation. I'm wondering, who are your current biggest competitors?
Right now, we would say that Adidas and Nike are our biggest competitors just because they have gone in the industry of additive manufacturing. However, what makes us different from them is that we tackle every feature, as you saw in the little graph that we made, because we incorporate buy one, give one. We customize our shoes for everyone. We can be remade. We are affordable. We have a mobile app, and we use recycled materials as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Out of curiosity, I feel like some of this I've heard before, like Tom's Shoes gives away a pair of shoes for every shoe that you buy. I'd be interested to hear how you compare to Tom's, and then I think there's like a sock company called Bombas or something that does like something similar to that. But why does a person buy your shoes? Is it because they really fit well? You know, that would be the competition for Adidas or Nike, or is it because they clean up pollution? Or is it because they do away with the fast fashion issues that you guys raised? Or is it because you guys are giving shoes out to the homeless? What of those issues is sort of the primary driver for a customer to buy your shoes?
We would say that basically everything is, especially just because we are tackling homelessness, and based on our survey, 93% of our respondents said that they're more willing to buy from a company that is tackling a social issue, as well as I would say that it's a customizable fit, and our consumers are able to make their shoe how they want it, and it's customizable for them. And it's also tackling the issue of fast fashion because we want to be a zero waste company, and I'm so sorry, can't talk, but without using, I'm so sorry, but yeah.
You're doing great. You're doing awesome. So please continue. Don't feel like, yeah, I'm not, but you're doing awesome. Continue, please, or unless you're done.
No, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, well, you did awesome.
A great presentation. Yeah, great presentation. A few questions really quickly. The primary material, as I understand, is recycled, correct? Recycled plastic. So you're going to be manufacturing this domestically or offshore?
We want to do it domestically just because we will be getting these plastics from Colorado and just residing areas around like parks, things like that, especially since we don't want to buy plastic because that would just add to waste and fast fashion, which we're not trying to do. So yeah.
Okay, great. And have you been able to develop a prototype?
Not yet, but we do want to do that very, very soon.
And have you, your pricing was very, very inexpensive. I think it was, I forget what it is, $25 to $75. Have you done any cost analysis as to what your cost of goods sold might be?
We have not. However, the cost of the shoe will depend on how much material is used, such as filaments and things like that. And we have done some research on using some 3D printers, and we've kind of stuck with a 3D printer called Ultimaker 3 just because it's compatible with all of the materials that we want to use. And it has great print quality and just excellent build volume.
Okay, and what strategic advantage do you have against your competitors, some of the behemoths in the shoe market, or people that are getting into the printable shoe space? I don't know if there is a space like that, but assuming there might be, do you have any IP or other competitive advantages that would help you launch your company?
I think that we will just be an affordable company that is customizable for everyone, and our shoes can be remade as well. So once the shoe is no longer usable, the shoe can get brought in and we can remake the shoe with the same materials that were used in the shoe than the original shoe, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
So I have one question that's two parts in manufacturing. So take it piece by piece probably to make it more palpable. But the first piece is, I know you talked about that you wanted to collect recyclable materials and then make your own filament from that. Is that a proprietary process? Do you already have you researched the technology you could license to do that?
Yes, we did research, as you saw in the video, that we will melt down the actual plastic into a filament. However, we didn't actually do research into how much it will actually cost, just because the manufacturing of filaments can be a little bit confusing at times.
Right, yeah. I'm just curious about if there's kind of intellectual property, or if you would license technology, or if you plan to build that. And obviously that would be a huge kind of component value add of your business if you had developed a way to process recycling into filaments, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. We will be processing our plastic into filaments that can be used in the shoe. I believe it was the base of the shoe, so people can walk, because when plastic is made into filament, it's more of like a hard feel to it. So yeah.
Yeah, like the company you outlined kind of does it already. You're thinking about mimicking that?
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you. Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Judges, please take the next 30 to 60 seconds to write down your scores. Okay, our next team is the trainer. The team members are Richard, Justin, Gloria, Chloe, and Nicole. Nicole Throop will be handling the Q&A portion of the presentation. Please play the video.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot to get your camera.
I got it. We do not have a living room anymore. Flurry, who did this? Who did this, Flurry? Oh, you're leaving? You're leaving?
Have you ever walked into a scene like that after not being able to stay home and watch your dog all day? Our survey shows 64.1% of dog owners say yes. Our primary research showed that 1/3 of dog owners believe that their dog can be better disciplined, and the trainer is a perfect solution. Did you know that 75% of dogs in the US never receive professional training? Now, you are the professional trainer with the help of your mobile device in the trainer system. This pet care system that includes a smart collar, application, and AI integrated cameras with night vision ability makes it easier for you to watch after and check in on your dog while you're away from home. The collar allows you to locate them, speak and hear them, keep track of their health, and even receive emergency alerts all from your mobile device with the help of our complex AI system and IoT. The trainer is ideal for every pet parent. We believe it can serve a purpose for all pet owners in making the experience of owning a pet easier and less stressful. This system is designed for the everyday lives of all pet owners to improve convenience, well-being, and peace of mind. The trainer will not only help people who struggle to train their dogs, but those who are trying to balance a demanding career while dealing with pet ownership, especially dogs with health or behavioral issues. There are 69.9 million American-owned pet dogs. Millennials make up over 35% of pet parents, and owning a dog can cost anywhere from $1,400 to $4,300 every year. The predicted $6 billion growth in spending on pet care in the US for 2021, the trainer is a perfect product to revolutionize pet care as a whole.
The trainer system is built with 3 components: the collar, cameras, and app, allowing you to be the best dog owner possible with use of complex AI technology and IoT to help you better care for your companion. AI collected data from the trainer helps strengthen relationships between dogs and owners as they interact with other dogs, dog owners, vets, strangers, and family members. With the trainer, we hope to foster a more in-touch community of dog owners who find ease in balancing a career as well as their dog's health and safety, where you can track your beloved pet's activity, health, behavior, and location, all while connecting with other dog lovers and pet care media. This eco-conscious system is loaded with tech features to provide peace of mind, such as Wi-Fi, cellular, and Bluetooth capability, as well as GPS, health, activity, and behavior monitoring. To make this possible, the collar has a temperature and vital sensors, microspeaker and microphone, ultrasonic sensing, and AI connectivity, all with your in-home trainer camera system, all controlled by the accompanying app. Even the band on the collar is interchangeable for size and color customizing. You can locate, train, communicate, and manage your dog's well-being, activity, and safety with these tech options, standard in all packages. The electric shock simulation feature allows you to manage your dog's barking and behavior away from home. You will also have the ability to virtually leash your pet and walk them, not to mention construct a completely virtual invisible fence without digging up your yard. AI works by combining large amounts of data with fast processing and intelligent algorithms, allowing the software in the cameras and color to learn automatically from patterns or features in the data, thus aiding our growing AI database. All information gathered from your pet can be directly shared with your vet or other caretakers, as well as vet information such as medical records and DNA test results can be uploaded to your dog's in-app profile, helping you and our system better care for your pet to ensure the highest quality of life.
Our competition on the market today is the PetPulse Smart Collar. This is an AI and IoT collar that was launched in August of 2020. This collar features many similar tech features as well as an accompanying app. The reason the trainer is still a necessary product is that it is not just one smart collar, but a multi-part system. Other products that you will find on the market are going to be general shock collars and security cameras. The technology already exists for our product and is readily available. There are a variety of ideas, products, and apps that are similar to the multiple aspects of this system, but not one yet that has combined them all into one streamlined product, making any other existing singular products obsolete.
Trainer plans to partner with local animal shelters where anybody who adopts a dog will get 5% off any of our products. An additional 5% from this purchase will go to the animal shelter where this dog was adopted. These animal shelters will then market our product by handing out pamphlets. In addition to this, the trainer will engage in digital marketing by using social media and broadcast media. Video and display advertising will help with targeting populations who are most likely to own a dog in the US, with the intent of showing how the trainer is the perfect product for every dog owner. We will also just use YouTube and podcasts to reach a more tech-savvy and young audience, but we will also target just the general United States because anybody should and can use this product. The collar alone will be $140, while a single camera is $130. We also have multiple levels to our subscription service. These levels will grant you stuff like no ads on the app, more lessons on the app, additional health monitoring options, and then more options while not at home for the collar and the app. As a company, we would like to expand into something much greater. We would like to add products similar to like smartwatches, Ring Doorbell, and Alexa to become a complete in-house system. This in-house system would record all information it could, and then AI would analyze that and give it back to you as important data points, which would allow you to live a much healthier, happier, and more efficient life. Thank you.
Now we'll take questions from the judges. Judges and Nicole, please turn on your microphones and cameras. Audience, if you have a question, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom. Judges, please go ahead.
Hi, Nicole. Good job. That was a really cool presentation. I love the way that you had it be so like high tech and all of you were speaking. That was awesome. Also a great idea. As far as the competition goes, do you kind of the combined, utility all into one component? Are there any other players that have even tried to combine just two of them or a few of them, or are they all singular? So right now there's like 8 different solutions and you would just take technology and roll it into one.
Yes, actually, thank you for asking that. Our competitors are mostly just general single component products. The closest thing that we did find was that Pet Pulse collar. We found that very late in our research. It was kind of discouraging to find, but the thing that sets us apart is that we are that full-blown system. Other things are able to connect their apps or export data just like ours is, but they're not able to, or they haven't at least, combined multiple aspects like we plan to do.
Great, super cool.
Hey, Nicole. I thought that was awesome. My friend just got a dog and she could really use something like this. So this is really cool. My question is relating to the data and if you have any plans to protect the data but between the dog and between your app, especially the potential video data relating to any video going on in your house. And I guess if your dog goes missing, is there any chance for anyone to take the collar and potentially get hold of the data that you're having?
Absolutely. So the data is only accessible through the owner's app. They can invite other people to be part of that profile. So you can invite other family members or caretakers, somebody who may be pet sitting your dog frequently. The only information that we would even be willing to sell, because this was something that we discussed, would be statistics on the dog's health and behavior. Sell mostly to vets or pet care companies, just for the improvement of their products. But generally, a person's information is completely secure within themselves and their family.
Awesome. This is really cool.
I liked it too. I love pets, so I liked it too. I caught that part of the mission here is to help discipline dogs and help with training and stuff like that. Do you guys have a system in place that you think might be considered reliable, or where there's any kind of like established success for remote training of dogs? And then so that's part one of the question. And then part two is, and this was sort of alluded to by Kate already, that it seems like there's a lot of technologies that would be bundled in this package, cameras and, possibly doorbells and collars and AI and stuff. And I'm wondering if you guys have gone through the trouble of like evaluating, because I assume that you can't, create all of that yourselves. And if you guys have established like best in class for each of those that you would ideally want to partner with going forward. So those are two-part questions. Did you catch both of those? I'm happy to repeat them. Sorry.
Yes, no, you're all good. Thank you very much. For the training aspect of it, the goal would be so there's subscriptions through the app, and you can choose which subscription level that you want. The basic subscription level will not include as much training abilities as higher ones. It's obviously all up to the consumer. If you don't feel like you need help training your dog, you don't have to pay to help train your dog. But the goal would be training videos partnered through maybe a professional trainer or an existing company, along with kind of a step-by-step guide that your app will guide you through. So it'll say, now instruct your dog to do this. If they don't, you have the option to use that electric shock simulation or just repeat the command, anything like that. So it'll be a step-by-step guide in training your dog. Second,
Can you repeat your second question now that I've gotten into the first one? Sorry.
Yeah, well, that was a good one. That was a good answer. And then the second one just had to do with all of the different technologies and whether you guys have gone through the process of evaluating which of the existing technologies within each space you guys would ideally partner with.
Yes, so the AI smart cameras aspect of our project is prevalent in other systems for, I guess, other purposes, mostly like home monitoring and stuff like that. Not quite sure if we're going to partner with a company for that or find a way to manufacture our own. The Pet Pulse collar was something that was super prevalent in our research, really, because it was very surprising that we found something so similar to our idea. Really shook us. But that would be a great thing to maybe partner with or compete against, depending on how strong we feel like we have an advantage in the market. Obviously, Ring doorbells, there's so many different aspects and so many different companies that make the same thing. So our goal really is to take different technologies, including things like the invisible fence, put them together into one package so you don't have to buy all these different things for different prices and different companies and find a way to connect them all, because a lot of them are all connected through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, but through our system, you will have every single aspect of it streamlined into one app and one collar.
I have two quick questions. One is a collar theft resistant? Can someone just take it right off your pet?
That is a great question. The clip on the collar is going to be metal. The idea was much like a smartwatch to begin with, where you can change the band. So if somebody were to take it off the dog, they would have to manage like this thick metal clip that's on the back of it, which would take some time. Hopefully you would notice if it was taken off, but that was kind of the extent that we'd gone into thinking about theft management.
Okay, and what's the distribution model?
So for marketing, our plan was to produce like video ads and stuff like that through streaming services, audio ads through podcasts, just to reach mostly the millennial generation, because they own 35% of pet dogs. Newscats would be able to broadcast that as well, for generations that maybe don't listen to podcasts or don't pay for streaming services or spend time on YouTube. Generally, we wanted to be able to put our system into stores like PetSmart and Petco and have a visual display, much like other product systems do.
Thanks very much.
Great. Thank you, Nicole. Judges, please take 30 to 60 seconds to write down your scores.
There were a few questions in the chat. Did you see those, Josh?
Thank you, Kate.
Okay, just calling it to attention. I don't know if you like.
Okay, our next team is Virtual Dreamality. Team members Kutlo, McKenna, Connor, Lisa, and Cheyenne. Connor Estelle will be handling the Q&A portion of the presentation. Please play the video.
In the United States, someone develops Alzheimer's every 67 seconds. To aid caregivers and ease the burden for patients and their families, we've created a product to revolutionize the approach to reminiscence therapy for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. The Rememory glasses provide a compact and portable alternative to traditional reminiscence therapy, allowing patients to maintain cognitive and motor skills. Using both virtual and mixed reality, we're able to create an immersive experience for patients, as well as a space to connect with others regardless of physical proximity.
Reminiscence therapy engages parts of the brain involved in memory in order to practice a psychological process called rehearsal. Rehearsal is the movement of short-term memory to long-term memory in the brain. The Rememory allows patients to practice active rehearsal. During active rehearsal, one repeats the information to be remembered. If you repeat it enough, it may be moved to long-term memory. For example, this type of active rehearsal is the many ways that children learn their ABCs with the alphabet song.
The specific areas of the brain involved in memory are the amygdala, cerebellum, and the hippocampus. The amygdala is in charge of memory consolidation. It seems to facilitate encoding memories at a deeper level when the event is emotionally arousing. This is why Rememory's reminiscence therapy is so effective. The cerebellum is responsible for implicit memories, meaning motor learning. This is seen in the mixed reality aspect of the glasses, allowing patients to practice daily activities. Lastly, the hippocampus projects information to cortical regions that give memories meaning and connect them with other memories, making the memory sharing upgrade of rememory so beneficial.
Behind those suffering from Alzheimer's are dedicated caregivers who devote countless of hours toward the care of their patients. It is estimated that caregivers each year give $17 billion worth of unpaid caregiving, with 1/3 of caregivers providing at least 20 hours in care, undertaking 60% of personal care and 80% of house care. Our product is aimed at easing their workload. While patients participate in personalized life story simulations via our virtual reality feature, caregivers will be able to perform other tasks, reducing the amount of unpaid hours.
Our product is tailored to meet the needs of the Alzheimer's patients. However, our marketing strategy will be targeted towards the caregivers and loved ones. Constantly stressing about the health of the patient and what needs to be done can take a toll on the caregiver. We created Rememory in hopes to ease their workload while staying in the comfort of their own home. Our product will allow the caregivers to work on other tasks while their loved one can sit and enjoy their lifelike simulations.
As the diagnosis rate for Alzheimer's has increased over the past decade, as shown here by comparing the diagnosis rates of 2013 and 2017, the demand for the Rememory will be continuously increasing. Our main target market would include family members and loved ones, as well as caregiving facilities for individuals suffering from Alzheimer's disease. This market consists of individuals ranging in age from 40 to 60 years old, with annual incomes ranging from $80K a year and up. As Texas, California, and Florida are the states containing the largest number of patients and caregivers per capita, we will focus our marketing by sending Rememory representatives to facilities in these states. The data presented here also shows the projected increase in the prevalence of Alzheimer's by state. So we will be using online marketing to target social media-based support groups for families and loved ones on platforms such as Facebook in the dark purple states.
The Rememory hosts a list of features designed to provide a multi-tiered technological approach to Alzheimer's care. At the core is our fully immersive personalized memory boxes, where patients are able to experience past memories via home movies, family photos, and music. Our primary research has shown us this aspect of reminiscence therapy is most impactful in aiding memory recall. The next tier of features provided by our Rememory headset is a mixed reality feature that overlays graphics on top of the world around the user. It reminds patients of the names of family members, provides instructions for household appliances, and creates an accessible memory board containing reminders for appointments and activities. The headset also contains sensors, scanning the surrounding area and tracking movement to ensure the safety of patients.
Our primary research has shown us that implementing music into our virtual reality simulations is extremely effective. Not only that, but the reminiscence therapy approach is one of the best ways to slow down memory degradation as well as provide comfort to Alzheimer's patients. Using Bluetooth connectivity and an app available for download, caregivers and family members will be able to upload the media, which our software will then transform into the fully immersive virtual reality. The app will also allow caregivers to track the usage of the Rememory, allowing them to check on the progress despite performing other tasks. What makes the Rememory different from our competitors is that there is no other technology designed to provide a fully immersive approach to reminiscence therapy. Families may choose to implement smart home sensors such as an Amazon Alexa to provide reminders for activities and appointments, but that is only one function of our IoT-powered memory boards. Other virtual reality tech, like Microsoft HoloLens, have been used to give Alzheimer's patients virtual reality experiences like going on a trip to Italy or a national park. But our product is a personalized tool aiding patients to retain cognitive and motor abilities.
As many families all have different needs, we will have the option of both buying or leasing the Rememory. With the full purchase of the Rememory, families will only pay a low monthly subscription fee, offering different features depending on their subscription level. As Alzheimer's is a progressive disease, our standard package will offer personalized memory boxes and access to a fully immersive virtual reality life story movie. The second tier includes Tier 1's features and our mixed reality experience that was mentioned earlier. Our final tier will offer all features as well as a connectivity feature to share memory boards with other patients using the Rememory. When leasing, monthly subscription fees will include the glasses as well as features associated with that tier they choose. If families choose to lease, there will be a one-time deposit ensuring the rememory comes back in good condition.
While there is currently no known cure for Alzheimer's disease, we hope the Rememory's innovative approach to reminiscence therapy will provide Alzheimer's patients as well as their loved ones more time filled with memories, both old and new. Thank you.
Now we'll take questions from the judges. Connor and judges, please turn on your cameras and your microphones.
Hi, Connor. Great presentation, great idea. My question is involved around kind of the competitors you outlined. You mentioned one of them is already using the VR to try to help improve the memory degradation. Was there any studies or research about the effectiveness of that?
I believe that Oculus Rift, off the top of my head, isn't doing anything with Alzheimer's patients. We might have misspoke a little bit, but we haven't heard about any other VR headset doing the same thing that ours is employed for. Most VR headsets are used either for gaming experiences or tech demos, and we haven't heard of any other VR headset being implemented in nursing care facilities or at home when you might have a family member that's suffering from Alzheimer's.
Right, so that's like the crux of my question, is just more around, so what is the scientific base that makes you believe or know that this would be effective to help prevent the degradation?
Oh, that's a perfect question. So our the term that kept coming up during the video was reminiscence therapy. And reminiscence therapy oftentimes involves showing a person suffering from Alzheimer's photos, videos, materials from their past, so that it can kind of jog their memory a little bit and allow them to exercise those parts of their brain that are kind of starting to shut down or degenerate over time. Our headset was basically designed to take all those materials and present them in a way where they're basically compiled right there, and the person who is suffering from Alzheimer's can see them, interact with them, and even have relevant information displayed for them so that they're like, oh, that's my granddaughter Sandy in this home movie, or that's my husband that passed away, 3 years ago.
So when you showed, this is the last tier of this, and I'll let someone else speak. When you showed the microwave and had the instructions about what to do, like that's an amazing idea. More, I'm quite curious around that aspect of it, that if the technology stands up and allows for that kind of real-time interaction with your environment, is that equally as effective as it's been like in terms of the studying? Because still images are different than putting up words amidst a microwave, right? In your real kitchen.
Yes. So that part actually deals a lot more with like motor skills and kind of relearning how a lot of household appliances work. My grandmother actually, one of the stories I have of her is when she was suffering from Alzheimer's, she actually almost nuked a fork in the microwave. And if it had not been for my grandfather stopping her, that would have been a very bad scenario. So the mixed reality feature was basically designed to not only prevent things like that happening, where it's like, hey, don't be putting metal in the microwave and that sort of thing, but also to kind of help jog their motor skill coordination and remind them of, oh, this is how I use a TV remote. This is how I use a blender. This is how I use this appliance that they've otherwise forgotten how to interact with.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You bet.
Hi, Connor. Michael, I had a question for you. Maybe I missed this in the presentation. Is there anything in the technology where the brain has the ability to trigger something in the device in terms of the content that's being activated?
So the actual VR headset does not interact with the brain in any way, like censoring brain waves or anything like that, because of technological limitations. This is a portable headset, so we couldn't really implement that level of technology. Otherwise, I believe we would probably have to have it wired to a larger monitor unit to kind of pick up that level of brain activity. But what it does do is it allows the person taking care of their relative or the caregiver that's taking care of the patient suffering from Alzheimer's to upload those relevant materials from their past, and then thus create these memory boxes, as we call them, for the patient to interact with, to scroll through, to do whatever they need to do to kind of help jog that memory, help bring back those memories that they may have otherwise lost due to the disease. But there's no actual interaction going on with the brain in terms of technology.
So the therapist would kind of activate or trigger what was going to be displayed for the patient?
Yes, and the virtual AI would as well. The virtual AI basically takes the materials that the caregiver would upload onto our app, which would then be ported to the headset. And the virtual AI in the headset would take those materials, kind of organize them, put them in their respective places, and then thus run the simulation that the patient could interact with.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Connor, this was a really neat idea. Wondering if you can elaborate more on the design. And I know that a lot of other headsets like this are pretty bulky. And I'm wondering how you're able to design your headset, with cameras and sensors and storage for photos and things like that, so that it's still comfortable for pretty daily wear.
Great question, Lauren. So our headset was basically designed almost to be more like a pair of glasses, where the sensors and cameras would be on the sides, kind of where the I'm trying to think of what they are. Not the lenses, but the actual almost like not straps, but like things that go behind your ears would actually be in. So that the technology for the sensors and the camera would rest in there and be housed in there. The actual screen display, of course, would be on the lenses. And we actually have a battery that would be above the lens area so that the person could walk around the house. They could interact with appliances, walk around, get some of that walking in, and just kind of get a feel for their environment, all while using our glasses. And our real focus with this headset was understanding that people suffering from Alzheimer's are probably easily scared by things that are unfamiliar to them, or they are not really well acquainted with due to forgetting a lot of the relevant information that would make them say, oh, that's a headset. So we tried to go for a more stripped down, fun, innocent kind of look to it versus something like Oculus Rift or PlayStation VR. That's a very bulky headset. It's got the big almost display in the front. Instead, this is almost a pair of like almost kind of looking like sunglasses or goggles, or even the little glasses you use for science class to make sure that nothing was splashing your eyes, so that they feel open, they're not scared, and they just feel like they're putting on sunglasses versus a big headset.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Connor. Judges, please take the next 30 to 60 seconds to write down your scores.
Can I ask one question?
Oh, sorry, Josh. Go ahead, please.
No trouble. So Connor, and this kind of goes off of some of the questions that have already been asked, but have you guys thought about, or do you have a doctor or a credible resource that has endorsed reminiscence therapy? And do you anticipate like what it would take for caregivers to begin like adopting or accepting reminiscence therapy as an alternative to their existing therapies for Alzheimer's?
So the accreditation that we got for reminiscence therapy was largely through looking through various articles of how people actually wind up trying to repair some of the damage wrought from Alzheimer's disease. We did not contact an actual doctor in real life to talk about reminiscence therapy, but through our studying of various news articles, science journals, various citations, we found that reminiscence therapy was kind of the most effective way of dealing with this degenerative memory disease. And furthermore, in relation to caregivers and implementing reminiscence therapy, it wouldn't necessarily really require them to stop doing another therapy or give up another therapy, but rather it would give them rather a passive way to implement a therapy that could at least help a little bit in the sort of in the struggle that the patient is having with Alzheimer's. So this is not necessarily even a way to replace existing therapies that may be more effective, but yet just another way to kind of help alleviate the symptoms of such a terrible, terrible disease.
Awesome. Great, thank you, Connor. Judges, please go ahead and score Virtual Dreamality. Okay. Our next team and our final team tonight is Easy Eats. Team members, Anusha, Faisal, Lee, and Wes. Wes Castillo will be handling the Q&A portion of the presentation. Please play the video.
Today, over 50% of Americans have reported being unhappy with their body weight. 42% of American adults are obese. Over $33 million are spent on weight loss products yearly, and even 33% of people under the age of 20 are obese.
These are staggering numbers, while all different, speak to a common problem, which is how complicated eating healthy and dieting can be. Committing yourself to recording what you eat and building meal plans based on your preferences and goals can be quite a daunting task. I'm sure most of us have experienced trying to start a diet or trying to eat healthy, only to end up with a pizza later that night. Our solution to the problem is the Easy Eats app, which uses cutting-edge AI technology to plan the contents of your fridge into a customized meal plan based on your health data and your preferences. Our ultimate goal is to provide service that lets anyone eat healthy without taking up precious time and effort that could go into other parts of our lives.
The Easy Eats app consists of 3 major sections. It makes use of data inputted during registration, records of the foods you buy, and the accumulation of data on your eating preferences and tendencies in order to fill out these sections. Basic information like height, weight, age, and allergies will be entered by the user. Or, with user permission, we plan to integrate a feature that will link some parts of the iOS Health app and its Samsung counterpart in order to automatically create a profile that can be altered later. The first section will display your personal health profile, including your demographics, as well as your recommended calories and nutrition intake for the day based on your step count, which is also supplied by the linked Health app. The other necessary information to use the app is the input of the food products and ingredients you buy. These are collected through 2 methods. The main one is by taking a photo of your grocery receipt. The second, which will be useful when buying smaller quantities or receiving food for free, is by taking a picture of the product itself. Here is an example image of a receipt you might scan to input your items. At the top, there's the brand of the grocery store and its specific location. At the bottom, there's a barcode that can be used to access all the information on this particular transaction in the store's database. We will communicate with specific grocery stores and large chains through the use of an API, which will receive the barcodes specific to each item from these transaction histories, which can then be used to receive expiry and other detailed information about that product. This also means that should you go to a smaller, possibly local mart that we might not yet have connections to, you can still scan the barcode on any item's packaging to have detailed info automatically entered. All of these recorded items are then entered into a second section, which we call the fridge. Here, all of your food items are displayed, along with what is in them, when they expire, and when you got them. This section of the app will be responsible for sending you notifications telling you when something is about to expire, as well as letting you know if there are any missing, recommended, or oftenly purchased ingredients. The kitchen, which is the final section, is where the AI takes the ingredients you have in stock, incorporates your preferences, and runs them through the database of recipes in order to find something you might want to make. We plan to also display recipes recommended through preferences alone, as well as recipes that are partially met by the ingredients you have, so that you can plan your next grocery run. As this feature is used, it will become more and more accurate not only for individuals, but for everyone, as the AI will make use of big data to predict more accurately. Speaking of everyone, our target market is massive. As shown by the statistics we mentioned at the start, we are looking to help people who might be trying specific diets, vegans, vegetarians, younger people with less cooking experience, parents who care about their children's health, and especially people with weight concerns or conditions that restrict what they can eat. Although, if we were to try to narrow it down to a sentence, our target market would be people ranging from the 20 to 40 age range with some disposable income, as well as people with eating conditions and diets.
For startup purposes, we may target our marketing endeavors to parents and families, but based on our research and the functions provided by Easy Eats, our market has the potential to grow massively. With such a massive target audience and thousands of competitors on and off the app platform, a natural question to ask would be, are you wading into a red ocean? However, after studying our competitors, we firmly believe we have found a nice blue inlet off the coast of that Red Sea.
Our major goal to make cooking and eating healthy meals easy, no matter who you are. And many of the health apps you can access today still require major daily information, input, and planning, which not everyone is prepared to do. On top of that, we have technology to set ourselves apart. The impact of that technology will continue to grow as we gain more users and influence. While the virtual refrigerator portion of our app is beginning to emerge in some of our competitors such as Yumly and Foodkeeper, neither of these apps have the convenience or the wide range of features we have. We plan to charge $10 monthly for our services and make our money through advertising for stores when recommending ingredients and recipes.
We believe our idea is a solid foundation to the solution of a widespread and important problem. We know that through our app, we will be able to make millions of people's lives easier, healthier, and longer. As our idea gains traction, we have several plans to increase our efficiency in the future, which are including, but not limited to, restaurant and recommendations and restaurant menu nutritional info, the ability to take a photo of a completed meal and incorporate that into our app, collaborative efforts with companies like Instacart to deliver items to your house quickly, as well as technology connecting our app to stores and restaurants, further simplifying the process of collecting data through the use of IoT. With the right start, we know we have what it takes to make Easy Eats go far. And with that, we thank you for your support. We have been the Easy Eats team, and we hope to help you in the future.
I will take questions for the judges. From the judges, Wes and judges, please turn on your cameras and microphones.
Hello. If I may, can I start? By the way, that was great. I think it's an awesome market. Lots of people that would need it. But I have the dummy question for you to get things started. The app itself provide recommendations on what a person should be eating?
Yes, so the app is basically going to give you recommendations just based off like your nutritional demographics and what you need, like in terms of just normal for everybody kind of dietary needs. And then also based off if you input some goals you might try to be or whatever, if you're trying to lose weight, lower calorie diet, stuff like that. And then the preference part of it, which might be what you were talking about. We just want to people to enter like what are their favorite foods and things like that, and then build upon that. It's not necessarily just giving you recommendations just willy-nilly. Yeah.
Right. I guess if I could refine that question just a little bit further, is that there are so many different diets. You know, like a diet is not like my Chevy truck, manual. Like it doesn't just apply to all. Like I hear about diets that work for some people and don't work for other people. Does that get inputted as well, or is there just sort of like a plain vanilla diet that seems to work like universally?
So the main function is just universal. This is just base amount, what you need, calories, vitamins, whatever. And then we also want to have maybe like a list. Like you said, there's tons of diets out there. But we want to maybe make it where you can input. If you're on this specific diet, we might have a list of all the popular ones right now, or the things people are doing the most. Like if you're a vegan, you're a vegetarian. I know keto is really popular right now, so stuff like that. But yeah, no, if you don't select something like that in the app, then it will just give you basic nutritional info.
Okay, thank you.
Wes, I have a question for you. My question is around kind of the scanning the barcodes. Obviously, you mentioned that you would need to have a relationship with Whole Foods to get access to that. But then you also said that smaller markets would have a barcode that you would be able to use as well. So maybe I'm just understanding the back end technology of that, but does that require kind of executed contracts with them being okay sharing their data with you, or is it something that's in the kind of open market and available for everybody?
Right. So the barcode on specific items is open. Like there are already like sources you can use online that like catalog everything, and you, if you have the time, you could go and you could search that out. The reason for the communication with the grocery stores is more to like get some of the convenience features that some of the competitors don't have. So for basically all of our competitors, just about as convenient as you get is scanning every single item individually, I think. And then there are a couple that are kind of a little bit better, but that's kind of the baseline, right?
And I assume it's because the issue with Whole Foods granting their data to you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reason why we are asking for that data is to get it from the receipt itself. You can get all the items with one scan. So it's just a matter of accessing the trend.
So the question is around kind of the viability or the possibility or the complexity or how hard it will be to get those agreements. So they say, okay, sure, use our data, use our barcodes. They're super helpful.
Mm-hmm. Well, we want to work with grocery stores and we want to advertise for them as well. So we think that will play a part in getting approval from them. But yeah, that's essentially our plan, is we're going to have to contact the biggest stores, Whole Foods, Kroger, whatever it might be.
Exactly. Okay, thanks.
Hey Wes, question for you would be if you have consulted with any dietitians or if you plan to bring in any sort of professional advice into your app, whether that be kind of personal advice that the user could possibly pay for, or just any sort of professional nutrition related advice being integrated with your app.
So if you mean purely personal advice, we don't have any plans to implement that right now. I think that would be a good thing to do in the future. For starting out, we want to, like I said, we want to connect with the iOS Health app and get kind of just a basic assessment off your demographics to start with. But I think that would be a good way to go in the future.
Wes, let me just say, I think this is, I love what you're doing here. America has a weight problem. I don't have any specific questions, but I think it's really well thought out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wes, thank you very much. Judges, please take 30 seconds to write down your scores, and then please go to the judges Zoom room to select the winner of the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge. Okay. It's time for the Audience Choice Award for the Best Pitch Video. Audience, thanks for your participation tonight. Please select the team you believe had the best and most effective pitch video. Kevin has posted the poll. The winner of the Audience Choice Award will be announced when the judges, when I also announce the judges' decisions. Okay, this is something I've been very excited about all evening. While the judges choose the winner of the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge Competition, we have 3 very special guests with us tonight. The Colorado Black Chamber of Commerce, along with the Daniels College of Business, co-hosted a 12-week program on growing the small business. Attendees came with either an existing business or brought a business idea and developed them over the 12 weeks as assisted by Daniels professors. Dr. Rosanna Garcia, the Walker Koch Endowed Chair of Entrepreneurship at the University of Denver, ran this program and will interview the 2 of the entrepreneurs from the program.
Thank you, Joshua, and we're very excited to be here to share with you the program and these wonderful entrepreneurs and what they have been working on. So a quick introduction, we have with us George Baines. He founded George's Gourmet Pound Cakes in 2005. It's a family-owned and operated baked goods business specializing in providing all-natural, homemade, artisan pound cakes to wholesale and retail markets. He's a graduate of Camden High School and Rowan University. George has always desired to own a business, and so in 2012, George opened Mom's Coffee House, specializing in baking George's Gourmet Pound Cakes in honor of his grandmother, Mom. He also is a certified Cisco Network Academy instructor, has taught at the Camden Dream Center and at Rowan University. He's been a Big Brother for 12 years and with the Big Brother, Big Sister organization, and has 3 sons from this program. George is currently focusing on growing his business and working and enjoying Colorado. And I also have the honor to introduce Michael Diaz-Rivera. He is a father, teacher, community member, and entrepreneur who is no stranger to struggle. Born and raised on the south side of Colorado Springs, he became a convicted felon for marijuana possession at the age of 19. Not letting this stop him, he moved to Denver, where he graduated from Metropolitan State University in Denver, majoring in psychology with a minor in art and a focus on youth from at-risk conditions. He has now left the education industry for the marijuana industry to provide cannabis delivery services that ease and support the transaction between the dispensary and the customer while simultaneously helping the community to grow. So I met both Michael and George through the Colorado Black Chamber of Commerce program, which was Growing Your Legacy. And together we went on a journey to explore how to build their businesses for a future. And so, George, I'm going to just go ahead and start with you and ask you to just briefly describe your business. You know, I gave you an introduction there, but tell us about the realities of what you're doing.
Well, like I said, my business is making gourmet pound cakes. It's a family recipe, and the goal is to share my grandmother's recipe with the world. And so that means selling it to wholesale, retail markets, cafes, hospitals, you name it, and being committed to just those all natural ingredients, you know, no artificial flavors or colors or things of that nature. So with that in mind, I'm pushing forward to, you know, conquer Colorado and go from there.
That's great. And I've had a chance to have these pound cakes and they are marvelous. So they are worth sharing with all of Colorado and beyond. Michael, let's hear a little bit about your business.
Yes, thank you for having me. I am the owner of Better Days Delivery, which is a cannabis delivery service. We specialize in delivery and transport, just really making the transaction between the dispensary and the customer that easier. That way people are able to get their medicine, get their relaxation and liberation a little bit faster.
Thanks. And so I'm going to ask you, Michael, when I met you, you were just really starting out your business and really forming those ideas because the laws had changed in Colorado about the delivery service. Could you share with us what are your struggles has been as a minority entrepreneur?
Yeah, thank you for asking. And I'll start with that. Being that this is a burgeoning industry, an industry that is untapped, especially in Denver. It just went legal in Aurora in February, and delivery in Denver just went legal yesterday. So this industry is really brand new. Not many people know what to expect. And that has been a lot for me to just overcome that learning curve. But coming from a 5th grade teacher, which I just finished my last class last week, to now joining the marijuana industry, it's a totally different world where my focus has been on my kids and my community, and now it's business. And just being out of the business world for all of this time, there has been a lot that I've had to learn.
Thank you. And George, the same question for you. what struggles do you think you have faced as a minority entrepreneur?
I think just knowing, getting a seat at the table, finding where the business deals are made, how to connect with owners and decision makers in bigger places like hotels and even dealing with small owners. So finding out where those places are and connecting with the right people. So that's the biggest struggle. Yeah.
And I would definitely agree with you. It's that network that becomes important. And so I also saw you shaking your head, Michael, that the same thing for you is just expanding your network, which often can be closed. So George, you have had some struggles. You tell us a little bit about those struggles, but why do you think they were worthwhile? So let's all entrepreneurs have ups and downs. Why is it worthwhile doing this?
It's nothing like seeing your product in a store, in a cafe, in a coffee house, and that's what I'm seeing as I'm struggling, as I'm pushing ahead, making deals that sometimes they don't go through. I still have customers. I walk into a coffee house and there's my pound cake, and it feels good. Always feels good when you get a win, and those struggles will always happen, but the victories outweigh the struggles, and so I just keep moving forward and and pushing forward in my business. And some of those struggles are financing. To play with the bigger players, to get with the bigger players, you need financing, and so. But I just keep pushing forward, one coffee house at a time. Yeah. So.
And Michael, same question to you. So lots of struggles. You can share some of those with us, but what makes it worthwhile for you? I mean, you have a very unique history, right? You, from a felon for marijuana possession to now that's all you're dealing with is marijuana.
Exactly. And really what makes it worthwhile for me is that thought that I'm making space for other people and making a better future for my kids and my family. But I got a felony for marijuana possession at the age of 19. And that left me out of the marijuana industry. I literally could not participate in the industry until a year ago when legislation changed. Meanwhile, there were people that were making billions off of the industry, and I couldn't even take part of it. So now that I have access, I plan to learn all that I can and hold the door so that other people that didn't have access can get in as well. We're talking about the marijuana industry in Colorado has been legal at least 6 years now. So I've got a lot of time to make up for, but like George said, it's all about the network in the community. If I can make it better for my community, then we all can thrive is the hope.
So Michael, what advice do you have for a young entrepreneur that's just getting their companies off the ground? You were listening to the students pitching and they have some really cool ideas. And any advice you want to share with them?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was listening to some of these pitches and thinking, wow, I've got a lot to learn myself. But what I would say for me, it's have a lawyer and have a good team. For starting off my business, I thought I was going to do it all my own. I was going to be able to come up with the plan. I was going to be able to do all of my contracts. And I quickly learned that there's just language that I haven't had the time to learn yet. So luckily I have a lawyer, and hopefully you can get a pro bono lawyer because my lawyer is burning my pockets. But a lawyer is very important, especially when it comes to contracts and stuff. As they say, the devil's in the details. And then having a team so that you don't have to do it all on your own, having people that you can lean on, people that can fix your weaknesses.
And as part of your team, I'm working with you, and as we were going through the program, and both for you, George, and I'll come and ask you the same question, but family came up as something that we talked about. So, how does your family become a part of your business? As an entrepreneur, I know it does. They become a part. So how do you see family being a part of your business?
For me,
yeah, for you, Michael.
So my partner isn't a business partner of mine, but she's part of my business because she understands especially as a startup, I have to put a lot into this. So both of our kids are under the age of 2. There are times that I'm not able to fully be with them, and she's handling that load for me, or moments that we're laying there and I'm trying to work out a thought. She's helping me to think through things. hopefully in the future, I'm hoping to make this a family business, but right now, though really the most important aspects of raising my kids and helping us to stay balanced is how she's been supporting me.
That's great. So, George, same question to you. What advice do you have for young entrepreneurs? And you've shared with us and the struggles that you've had in starting a business and kind of having a downside, and now you're back up and producing again. And COVID, of course, really hit you in particular pretty hard. So, what advice do you have would you give young entrepreneurs?
Well, COVID really made me turn my focus on the internet sales, because everybody's at home. That's where my customer is. And so, yeah, my advice is to just keep your eyes open to the trends and stuff, and also reach out to different sources like Denver, university, whatever, when you're trying to figure stuff out. So just reach out to different people is my advice. Don't do it all on your own. So yeah.
And as you mentioned, really being ready to pivot as the industry changes.
Yes.
And I think that is something that's incredibly important. So Michael, something that, I don't think I've really talked to you about much, because you were, just really starting up your business when we started interacting together. But what are your big dreams for the future?
Oh, my dreams is one, I'm going to make this a sustainable business. Since I jumped into the business world, I'm looking at the failure rate of startups, and I don't want to add to that statistic. So I'm doing what I can to make sure that this is a sustainable business. Once my business is profiting and going for the long haul, I plan to take this nationwide. We see that Colorado is one of the marijuana markets that the rest of the nation looks to when they make their decisions. So with me being one of the first for delivery in Colorado, I'm hoping to take my expertise elsewhere. And then philanthropy is the goal. Once I make enough money, get it back to the community. I'm an educator at heart, so how can I still feed that education side of me is part of my goals as well.
And George, also, I have talked to you, and I do know a little bit of a sense of what your future, what it wants to look like. So, want to share that with us?
Well, my future is to get with some of the bigger players like Sodexo or US Foods and to sell to them. Also, to work with Michael over here, I'm working on a contract with a dispensary now with my pound cake. And so I will be working with Michael. So on that end of the spectrum there. But my future is big. I mean, the specialty food industry is huge. There's, I don't know, 500 coffee houses in Colorado and all over, and specialty stores all over. My plan is to hire some sales reps and to keep growing my business. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, just gonna note.
I'm an engineer. I'm like a network engineer, and I'm like, I'm a dual person.
Yeah, that was another question I had for you. And to both of you, Michael and George, you were in education, Michael, and now you've moved over. And George, you have been in networking with Cisco, and you're making pound cakes. But as entrepreneurs, we start in different places. But what did you learn from your prior jobs that is helping you now?
Well, I could tell you this. I've traveled all over the country, worked on high-level projects, and what I've learned is to look at projects one step at a time and finish it. And that's what I do with my pound cakes. I'm very technical, and when I do something, I know the beginning from the end. Based on my knowledge of networking and stuff, I know what's going to happen. I know what the end result of that cake is going to look like, just like I can figure routers and switches and everything else. It's going to route.
Great. And Michael, 5th grade education, how does that lead into helping you in where you're at right now?
Yeah, I think the 2 aspects that I'm really leaning on from being a teacher are my planning and facilitation. As I've been working on my lesson planning, I've been great at making checklists and making sure that I hit everything that I'm supposed to. So as I've been working on my business plan, I'm doing the same thing, making a checklist of all of my requirements, making sure that I do everything compliance-wise to make sure that everything gets done. But facilitation is my part that I'm really leaning on. If I'm able to corral 30 fifth graders and get them through an education day, I think that I can handle my delivery drivers and get us through a day.
That's great.
And one more thing I'd like to say is that one of the major things I've learned is that no matter what the problem is, I can solve it. In networking, the sky is always falling. But I learned that in my business, that it doesn't matter how big the order is, whatever, it's solvable. You know. So.
That's great. I didn't know if anybody out in the audience had a quick question. I think we have a minute or two to answer any. And so I'll pause here for a second to see if anybody has specific questions. And I'm assuming, of course, that you know, I know both of you have been very open and gracious with your time. And if any students or somebody in the audience had questions about getting into the cannabis industry, I can put them in touch with you and George. Getting in and food. A lot of our students do go into the food area. Mm-hmm. So thank you both so very much for sharing your companies. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And of course, you know, going through the program with the Colorado Black Chamber of Commerce program. And I wish both of you best of luck. And I know we're going to be in touch, and I'm going to see all the great things that you guys are doing in the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. And yeah, wishing the best for everyone. I'm all about networking and community. So anyone that hears this and would like to chat more, Better Data Delivery is official and we are on the move, and I'd love to talk more.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia and George and Michael. That was amazing. Our judges had a little bit of time to deliberate, so just give me about 2 minutes and I'll be back on video to announce our first and second place winners along with our Audience Choice Award. Okay, thank you and welcome back. I apologize for the delay. It just shows you the quality of our pitches tonight, and the judges had to spend some time debating. Judges, will you please come on camera? And before we announce the Audience Choice Award, I'd love to give you an opportunity to provide comments and feedback on the pitches tonight.
I'll start. I think they were all awesome. I mean, the fact that these students have put these videos together, you know, remote and possibly not being together in person, I think is so impressive. And I really enjoyed all 5 of them.
I mean, me too. Bravo. They were awesome. I mean, for one, they clearly, to come up with these ideas out of thin air, they all seem so obvious once you hear them, which makes them all the more like amazing because like they're so hard to come up with. And then the fact that these guys came up with videos, I wish I hadn't seen it because it makes me scared that like I'm going to have to compete against these guys at some point, and I can't come up with any of this type of stuff. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I thought the presentations were, many of them, all of them were very compelling. A couple of them, as I put in my put my venture hat on, I thought, boy, is this something I can wrap my head around investing in? And there were definitely a couple that I would give that consideration to.
Yep, I absolutely agree. I was very impressed, and like Lauren said, echo the kudos for being able to be resilient through all of the challenges that were kind of put in front of this project. Definitely did not show today. Very impressive end product and great Q&A too for those of you who did that part of it.
Awesome. Well, judges, thank you. So without further delay, the first award is the Audience Choice Award for the best pitch. This is chosen obviously by the audience. Each team member on the winning team will receive a $100 gift certificate to spend at the DU bookstore. So for the winner of the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge Audience Choice Award for Best Pitch is Not Just Jewelry. Congratulations. Katie, will you come on, turn on your camera and say a few words?
It says I'm unable to turn off my camera right now, but I do really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, definitely a lot of time spent into this project, so we really appreciate it.
Well, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. So the runner-up for the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge, which was something that I found was hotly debated, and the winner of each team member winning $200 is the trainer. Congratulations, the trainer. Nicole, please turn on your camera and say a few words.
It's not letting me turn my camera on either.
Okay.
But thank you guys so much. This took so much work throughout the past few weeks, and it's just amazing that we were able to even get this far. We have a huge vision for this product, and hopefully it can actually become a real product on the market someday. That is our goal.
Well, well done, and congratulations, Nicole, and the rest of the trainer team. Okay, so the winner of the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge. Each team member wins $500, and the winning team is Not Just Jewelry. Congratulations, Not Just Jewelry. And similar to sometimes at the Oscars, when somebody keeps going up and winning, Katie, please come on camera again.
Again, like I said earlier, thank you guys so much. We put in a lot of time and effort into this project. Our team was all really passionate about the products that we were creating. Luckily, we were all able to be in the same place and communicate with each other really well, so that was always helpful. But yeah, I think our final video just took like hours to complete. We do really appreciate that, and we really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely, work well deserved.
Well, congratulations, Not Just Jewelry, but congratulations for all the teams. Not only getting into the Madden Challenge, but the hard work of presenting and the members that represented the teams tonight, incredibly impressive. So just a couple closing remarks. The Madden Challenge is only made possible by the hard work and help from a number of people. I want to thank Patrick Orr for handling the judging and the scoring tonight. This is not possible without Patrick, and he handles it every quarter, and I just deeply appreciate it. I'd like to thank Kevin Douglas and Ronnie Conanova, Neil Pollard, and Western Doctor for all the work behind the scenes. Ashley Mercer, who gave birth to a healthy baby boy yesterday, is not with us tonight, but she is the glue for entrepreneurship at DU, and we're all very excited about her bringing in Roman into this world. So congratulations. Judges, thank you for your time tonight. I really appreciate it. And the really cool thing is the fact that you are all DU alums, and Kate's about to become a DU alum, and the fact that you wanted to come and spend your evening, it's just awesome, and I appreciate it. But I want to close tonight with the following. I believe this is a wonderful time to be a creative, an innovator, an entrepreneur. You know, regardless of the current social, political, and economic situation and where we are with COVID, there is always opportunity. The barriers to entry and the cost to validate an idea have been dramatically reduced. As the fourth industrial revolution technologies become more widely used and available, we're going to see rapid innovation and change. So students, take advantage of the opportunities while you're in school. There are a number of resources available through the entrepreneurship at DU to help you continue working on your idea. This is just the start. Now it's up to you to push to the next phase. Congratulations to all of our teams tonight. Wonderful work. Thank you everyone for joining the Spring 2021 Madden Challenge. Be safe and good night.